Welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content surrounding childhood sexual abuse. I use this channel to empower and encourage other survivors. Also on this channel I do share news stories and add my thoughts and commentary to it. I also share interviews with other survivors and their supporters to raise awareness of this very taboo and difficult subject. So if this is the type of content that you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And if you like the content that I share, please hit the thumbs up button. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about a part of my journey that was really difficult. If you haven't watched my videos before and you're new to this channel, as I've shared, I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. That is the terminology I use so that people can relate to me, but I don't see myself as a survivor. I just see myself as Yvonne, somebody who had a terrible childhood experience. But my journey was a 25-year journey to get to where I am today. I went through a lot of battles, a lot of different external and internal challenges that, were very difficult. But one of the things that was really difficult was the battle to find me. And that is what I want to talk to you about today on this video. I want to share with you some of the realizations and some of the things that I found hard on my journey to finding me. When I think about it and think back to when I was a child, I can only really remember just a few memories of what I was like before I was sexually abused by my dad. I remember myself as being a kind of a bubbly child, a happy child, quite shy at times. But then when I went through the abuse starting at around 9 years old up until the age of 13 years old, I just became lost. I just lived in my pain. I just lived in what was going on with me. And even when I was taken out of that situation at 13 years old, it still didn't set me on a path to finding myself. As a matter of fact, as time went on, I became more and more lost and spent a lot of time self-sabotaging, drinking, using a lot of things to avoid my pain. So one of the things that I found hard in the battle to find me was having an understanding of who I was. So because I'd lived with the pain of going through childhood sexual abuse for so long, had been so used to its negative dysfunction in my life, when I finally sat down after I had my first nervous breakdown at 22 with a psychotherapist to start to work on who I was, I realised that I didn't know anything about myself. I knew how I reacted to things. I knew, how things made me feel. But if somebody was to ask me the question, who is Yvonne? What is she about? I couldn't tell you. It was then that I realised that from before my sexual abuse at the age of 9, I didn't know who I was in between all that time. So that was one of the hardest things in the battle to finding me, was trying to figure out who Yvonne was. That involved looking at what I liked, what I disliked, accepting myself, also as well thinking about my goals, dreams, aspirations. And it took a long time to be able to get to a place of being able to say, this is who I am. Another thing that was really hard on the journey to finding myself was the realization that everything I believed about myself, because of the perception CSA left me with, was a total lie. So I had a lot of shame and blame because of these lies. I really had to change my mindset and accept the truth about what happened to me. There is nothing that I could have said, done, or ever do that would ever warrant me as a child being liable or responsible for my dad sexually abusing me. That took a long time to undo that type of thinking. Obviously it came through, healing, through therapy, through facing things that had happened to me, through, gaining new knowledge, and then not just gaining the new knowledge, but accepting it. Another thing that I found really hard on my journey to accepting me, struggling to accept myself. Even when I did really good things, positive things with myself, I found it a struggle to congratulate myself. I was always striving to do something bigger or better all the time. And when you have pitted yourself against yourself like that, where no matter how high the marker, you reach it, and then when you reach it you can't even give yourself a break, it is really damaging to self. But in terms of accepting myself and liking myself, I can definitely turn around now and say that I do like myself. I am learning to love myself. But one of the biggest things that I'm not doing anymore is rejecting myself. I'm accepting myself with my faults, my failings, my mistakes, where I am at now, rather than beating myself up. And another thing that I'm not doing as well is, from this point where I am now, where I'm doing better and I've, you know, gone on to do so many great things personally and in my professional life, not using where I am now to look back at where I was then and beat myself up about it, you know, because I was in a different mindset then, I was a different person back then, and at each part in my journey, you know, I've had different things that I've had to deal with. The battle to finding me was a journey. As I mentioned, you know, it has taken over 20 years to get to this point. But if you are a survivor who is struggling with, you know, thinking that you're going to make it, or believing good about yourself, or just feeling really bad about yourself and thinking that, you know, you're never going to have the life that you want, I would just want to encourage you to just take one step at a time, one day at a time. Some days you will win the battles, other days you won't. But the thing is that is going to be the kind of determining factor in your healing journey is that you don't give up. I need you to continue on and not to by any means let the things of your past defeat you, even though they can feel defeating. You know, there's no doubt about it. To try and get to a place of having just a regular normal life, what you would consider normal, can seem like a bit of a dream, especially if you've gone through childhood sexual abuse. But it can be done, you know. There is definitely going to be a battle. It's a real battle. It's down to what you have in mind as what winning the war looks like in your life. And I do share my autobiography, Daughter Arise, which was released back in 2010. You know, bits and pieces of my journey and all the complexities. So if that's something you're interested in reading, I will leave a link to it in the description box below. And also I share, you know, how hard my journey was as well through diary entries that I shared in my book, Choose Life, which is an empowerment practical workbook for survivors. I share in there as well activities and different things to help people who have not told anybody about their abuse. So in both of those books, I do share a lot about my journey and the difficulties that I faced on my journey to healing from my experiences. So I just wanted to share this video with you. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you like the content. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.